Hey, what's happening, guys? Norsky here. In this video we're going to go through the top 5 automatic guns or machine guns in Battlefield 1. This was definitely a hard list to make because there are a lot of good machine guns in Battlefield 1, and as always, these rankings are based on my opinion, and that's pretty much it. Let's get started. Coming in at our number 5 spot, we have the MP18. This gun is a pretty solid SMG all around. It doesn't have any major strengths and isn't going to wow you with any of its statistics, but it is a pretty good gun. The only weakness that it presents is its recoil, which makes it pretty difficult to kill an enemy at long range. This gun still has decent range overall. Close range is definitely where this gun is the best. You can really melt people in tight quarters with this gun. It's also pretty good at medium range because at that distance the recoil still isn't bad. The ammo size in this gun is also pretty good, a lot better than some of the guns on this list. Its damage isn't bad either for an SMG. It can kill enemies fairly quickly once you lock onto a target. Hip firing with this gun isn't too bad either. If you like hip firing, stick with the trench model because the trench variants on all guns will always have a higher hip fire rating. The optical variant, well, all that variant adds is a better scope, which obviously makes it more accurate. And the MP18 experimental variant is quite a bit different because it has a 3-round burst as its only fire mode. This version also has an increase in accuracy and recoil control, and has a decrease in its hip firing. All in all, this is a very solid machine gun no matter what variant you're using, and you get the trench variant as the starter gun in the assault class, so you can start dominating with this gun right away. And that's why it comes in at our number 5 spot. My number 4 spot belongs to the Bar M1918. I'm sure most of you are wondering why this isn't at number 1. Well, let me tell you why. It's because this gun is good, but it's not great. What makes it good is its amazing rate of fire, and this gun actually has the 3rd quickest rate of fire among primary weapons, which is pretty amazing for an LMG. What makes it not so good is its tiny clip size, as it only holds 20 rounds in each magazine. Like I've said in the past, you can burn through a clip so fast, and that makes you vulnerable because you'll always be reloading. Granted, it doesn't take very long to reload, but it's still a noticeable weakness. Although, if this gun did have a bigger magazine size, it would be so OP. I guarantee almost everyone and their grandmas would be using this thing. So it's probably a good thing that it has a small magazine size to keep it balanced. This gun is very good, though its damage rating isn't the greatest, but it's still good enough to take people out pretty quick. I'm sure it's low just to compensate for the high rate of fire. With a high rate of fire, it also brings a high amount of recoil, so at long range, this gun is not very effective, but at medium range and close range, watch out because this thing is a certified killing machine. It is definitely one of the better guns in Battlefield 1, and that's why it owns the number 4 spot. My number 3 best machine gun is the MG15. The MG15 is a very good gun. This gun is crazy accurate for a machine gun, and it can take people out at long range with ease. This gun is arguably the most accurate automatic gun in Battlefield 1. It has solid damage and a solid rate of fire. The biggest strength of this gun is its huge magazine size. It holds 100 rounds in the Storm and low weight variants, and the suppressive model holds an impressive 200 rounds in its magazine. If you ever run out of ammo with this gun, it's your own fault because this monster of a gun has more than enough ammo to last you almost forever. The MG15 is just a super fun gun to use. The main weakness it has is it's a pretty heavy gun to lug around, and it's not a gun you want to run and gun with, that's for sure. It's also not very good at close range because it has a slow ADS, and it's just not meant for close range. Its sweet spot for range is definitely medium to long range. My personal preference on variants would be the Storm variant. I enjoy using that variant the most, mainly because I really don't like the scope on the suppressive variant. The low weight is alright, but the Storm variant is where it's at. This gun is amazing if you play to its strengths, which is long engagements and spraying, and just don't run and gun with it, and you'll do fine with this gun. And that's why it comes in at number 3. Number 2 goes to the M1909 Benet Mercie, aka the Bernie Mac gun. As you guys know by now, I love this gun. I'm sure you guys are almost surprised that I didn't put it number 1. This gun has great range and great damage because it retains its damage rating very well over a long distance. It also has pretty much non-existent recoil at any range. That's what makes this gun so deadly. The fact that it's good at all ranges is scary. The Benet Mercie is, in my opinion, the most accurate machine gun in Battlefield 1, even more so than the MG15. It doesn't have as good of a magazine size as the MG15, but it's so much lighter of a gun and much more mobile of a gun than the MG15. This gun fits all gameplay styles. You can run and gun with it, you can camp, you can be conservative or be super aggressive. It's your choice. The fact is, this gun is super versatile with its good damage and range, with its solid fire rate, and its deadly accuracy, especially with its super quick ADS. It definitely deserves to be number 2, maybe even number 1 for some people. But yeah, I love this gun, and that's why it's number 2. Now before we move on to number 1, we actually have an honorable mention, and that would go to the Automatico M1918. This gun is solid, and it has the highest rate of fire for primary guns in all of Battlefield 1 at 900 rounds per minute. With that fast fire rate, it takes time to adjust to its high recoil, but it really melts people quick. It's a lot of fun to be aggressive using it. You can burn through ammo really quick as it only holds 25 in the magazine and only another 125 rounds in reserve, but if you look past that, this gun is solid, and that's why it earned the honorable mention spot. Now coming in at our number 1 spot, we have the M1907 SL Sweeper. That's right. Are you surprised? I'm guessing you are. Well, first of all, this gun is amazing. At close to medium range, this gun just melts. With its very good damage output, it can take anyone out very quickly. I know it has a slow rate of fire and somewhat high recoil, but the damage output that it produces overcomes those weaknesses. It is one of the best guns at close range in the game and definitely one of the best at medium range. If you manage the ammo wisely, you shouldn't have any issues running out of ammo. For the most part, you don't have to reload this gun too often. You should be able to get 3 or 4 enemies killed before reloading if you're somewhat accurate. There's a reason it's probably the most used medic gun in the game, and that's because it's amazing. There are definitely weaknesses on this gun, but the strengths outweigh the weaknesses by far, and that's why I have the M1907 SL Sweeper as my number 1 automatic / machine gun in Battlefield 1. Now, I know not everyone will agree with my list, like, where's the Hellriegel? Or, hey, where's the auto loading at? Well, those guns are alright in my opinion, but I like my top 5 guns better. What I'm really curious about is what your guys' top 5 machine guns are. Is it the same, or would you have it in a different order, or would you swap a gun out for another? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's the video, guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and also subscribe so you don't miss any of my awesome Battlefield 1 content. Thanks guys, and I'll catch you later.
We have taken objective butter.